Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range in 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sunset Rants, where we catch you up with the breaking news, headlines, and rants to get you caught up at sunset. I'm AK, your favorite guy, and tonight, you guessed it, our World War III update. A new character has been unlocked in Trump's cabinet, and we've got some breaking news out of the relief efforts in North Carolina. But first, we have a new co-host here today. He had cooler things to do tonight, but his plans got canceled. So please welcome Taylor. What up, Tay-Tay?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hello, guys. Pleasure to be here. Hope everyone's having a great Taco Tuesday.
Oh, I forgot it was Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely had a couple.
You had a I'm going to have to go to the gym after that. Tell me about it. Oh, yeah. So where can we find you?
You can find me on X. It's called That Guy, or no, This Guy. Excuse me. That's pretty much my only big social media now. It's to friends and family, but that's usually where I'm at.
You know it. Well, you can find me on X at @therealroma_AK. Also, we have a Discord that's open to the public. We're currently looking for 3 individuals to join the Roman Nation and Sunset Rants host team. That's right. So if you think you got what it takes to be an online personality and you want to have your beautiful face on screen, like Tay over here, join the Discord or shoot me a message on X, because I believe that everyone should have the ability to spread their word in this post-cancel culture society. Link is in the description below. Also, check out our website. That's right. Where Sunset Rants is part of Rise of Middle America Network, where you can see our most recent content, news, rants, and deep dives, as well as up-and-coming events that you don't want to miss. So if you want more breaking news, stories, and on-the-ground coverage of events happening here in America, we have a link at the bottom of the page where you can make a monetary contribution to help us create content for all our viewers. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and help us push this post-cancel culture society to the next level. How do I do, Tay? Does that sound good?
You sounded fantastic, brother. Sounded fantastic.
Like always. So anyways, we're going to start off with Zero Hedge here, because there's some breaking news going on down in North Carolina. So let's go ahead and get it started. So meet Adam Smith, the Green Beret behind North Carolina's Redneck Air Force. What does this guy say? They're probably dead. Oh my God, that's horrible. That was a thought running through Adam Smith's mind as he raced to find to save his 3-year-old daughter and mother from devastation wrought by Hurricane Helene. Smith is a former U.S. Army Green Beret. He spent 17 years conducting military operations around the globe in defense of his country. I would not want to mess with that guy.
No. I've got a couple friends that were in special forces, and those guys are a different breed of man. I'll tell you that.
Oh, absolutely. He's probably out of shape in this picture. That's
the guy's a giant. Look at him.
Jesus Christ. All right. So he said, quote, "I don't think anything will prepare you for the thought of losing your child." True. Smith said to the Epic Times on October 26th, exactly 1 month after Helene touched down as a Category 4 hurricane in Florida and barreled toward the unexpected mountain communities in western North Carolina. Quote, "Nobody really truly understands the devastation that happened on the ground until you come and drive and see it. There are towns that are literally gone, swept off the face of the earth. Um, Nobody was stopping that guy from getting to his child. No one.
No, no, this guy's gone through the combat. He's done all this stuff to where he's got his child is the reason he comes home and fights. So he doesn't have any fire like flying at him. So
Exactly.
and
Yeah,
I just can't. It's just so insane to see like videos, like entire like aerial photos of these towns just like wiped off, like a giant brown eraser just went through everything.
Oh, absolutely. Kind of like this here. Um, yeah, this is sort of so these are tents of people that are still homeless. They can't get back to their respective lands because of the issues that they've had with the federal government, kind of blockading and putting up this red tape. In that,
It's
go ahead.
it's insane the fact that it's actually happening. Like they're like, oh hey, you can't be helped by us. We're not going to help you. Like it'll come to me like how I want to word it. I'm not the best at it sometimes, but I do.
I completely agree. And
I don't have words for it.
and it was crazy because the one thing that I could remember when this hurricane came through was Hurricane Katrina.
Oh,
Now
wow.
this wasn't exactly Hurricane Katrina, but it was Hurricane Katrina-esque as to the federal government's response. They were not prepared.
No, like, and so like, it's definitely esque, like just like the mass, like just the vast destruction that are just like completely like relocated people. Katrina's a little bit different. They knew about like what could have happened, but literally nobody could have seen this coming. This was like, I think the last time something like this even happened was 100 odd years ago, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, no, exactly. And the thing is that there's been stories from on the ground. There's been photos too. I mean, they're not on regular social media, but uh, they've been going around a lot of these private chats and whatnot about what's really going on in this area. We did a show about it when it happened, and talking about how they've kind of just closed down the area, and the federal government was ready to just bulldoze everything over and start anew. Now, the reasons for that are, that's for a different
Pretty dark.
they're a completely different episode.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's pretty devastating when something like that happens in your own federal government that you pay X amount of money to every single year. Is not prepared for something like that.
And it's wild though, because like, there was an idea that's going to happen, here in Florida, for the most part, thank God, like our governor, if there is going to be a severe tropical storm or hurricane, state of emergency. So that way we can have, outside people coming in to help for the setup for what could possibly happen.
Mhm.
But they were just these people are just abandoned.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And, that really kind of pisses me off, when I see stories like this guy, Matt Van Swall. He said, I can't even put into words how horrific the devastation is in, what's that? Swananoa. I want to get that right. So Swananoa, North Carolina, people in tents everywhere, freezing. FEMA is literally nowhere to be found.
They were literally freezing because I remember because it was raining. They had that huge storm ahead of time before the storm, so it was lots of rain, and so that's going to cool the earth off. It's mountainous. On top of that, then they had the hurricane, and then I think it dropped down into. It's been a couple weeks since I thought about the temperature, but I want to say it was like in the 40s, the 50s, like right after. These people are everything's soaked. They have no clothes. They have nowhere to go, no shelter, nowhere to eat.
Right.
So you have people from that Like they got affected by one thing, now it's another thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's hear what this guy has to say about those conditions.
Telling you, like, there's no tents. FEMA's doing its job. Just tell them to drive down the main road in Swannanoa, North Carolina, the main one. Okay, you'll see them everywhere. I'm gonna throw up a drone shot later on. I didn't want to get too close, and I'm a little bit away from it. Yeah, it's just down there. I'm a little bit away from it because I don't want to give away their privacy, and I flew a drone really high, so you can't tell who anyone is. But I mean, the tents are everywhere. So I don't want to hear this BS from, non-local reporters or anyone who's not here on the ground that there's no tents. There are tents. They are everywhere. These people need help, okay? I'm about to go to Fairview to check out the FEMA camp, which has trailers, and it's nice and heated. It sounds nice because these people right here, yeah, things aren't going so well. So FEMA, it'd be great if you got your ass down here, started handing out some trailers to people in tents. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah. So you got people like that are actual on the ground reporters. Are not supposed to be reporters. They're supposed to be sitting around thinking about what they're going to have for Thanksgiving with their families. But outside of that,
oh no! But to the government and to Legacy News, no, these aren't reporters. These are the enemy. This is fake news. This is propaganda. Because it makes us look bad. And it's even the fact, like, if you look at that video, like, I couldn't take a guess how many people are like sharing tents or how many families are there, but maybe a couple hundred there at least. And then our government like spends billions of dollars each year, like even state-wise. I know California's a bigger state with a different economy, but they spend like $7 billion annually on homeless people, and they don't do anything. And these people are like working class citizens. They have families, they have lives. They're not drug addicts. They're not like alcoholics that like fall asleep like underneath random trucks or bothering people. These are people of society. And the fact that we could go spend money somewhere else, as our government would, and not actually do something to provide for people is just, it's heartbreaking, and it's just not fair. There's like no justice to it. It doesn't make sense. Right.
And that's why like we applaud people in these heroes doing the right thing for their communities and speaking out about it, and putting a target on their backs, because that's typically what happens allegedly with our government when we go through, Yeah, I wish we had some really, really good news on this show, but we kind of have to keep it going. But before we do that, the search and rescue teams are finally on their way out.
It's the sound of solace. Help is on the way.
We just kind of organized a private helicopter army to go in and survey the damage and extract people and take supplies in, and just create landing zones for everybody to have supply routes in and out.
Matt McSwain is a pilot from Mount Holly and says he received a call from Operation Airdrop, an organization now working to shore up relief and rescue efforts for folks trapped in North Carolina's high country.
We've had 37 helicopters today, volunteers. We've had people from Texas to Maine, all the way across the East Coast, just show up and like, how do we help?
For folks who remember Katrina, there's like the Cajun Navy.
Right.
I feel very much like this is Cajun Navy.
Yep, this is Redneck Navy. I'm a Marine, so Redneck Marine.
McSwain took us back to the war room where we were allowed to take photos, but not share any audio from inside. There's a station where they gather calls for help, often from social media posts, then triage the severity of the need and what supplies should go on the flight, and then attempt to find that person in distress. One of the biggest hurdles, McSwain says, is not having spots to land.
When we go to those GPS coordinates, we may not be able to land there. It might be a mile, 2 miles on one side or the other, just because we can't get to that distress call.
Tuesday, he says they plan to help with another major concern, shuttling in communication devices for first responders.
There's actual whole communities that are completely cut off from the grid. We tried to establish communications with the local sheriff's department, the fire department. There is no communications.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember hearing about that. because like it's all forest out there. There really isn't nowhere to go. So even if they wanted to drop something, the complete highways were taken out. There's nothing. But yeah, man. Like, what can you do? Like, because you only have so much like flight time, like on a tank of gas with a helicopter.
Right. Yeah, and even with the terrain was washed out. Dams broke, and I mean, like entire neighborhoods and in towns were just swept away. So, but I'm glad that even after all this time, we have people like that are more than willing to sacrifice even their own lives to go in there when our country failed them.
No, there definitely needs to be like a change, like what this guy's doing. People need to start stepping up. Everyone's like so quick to pull out their camera, take a photo and be like, oh, this, complain, put their 2 cents in, but not, be about anything. So the fact that this guy actually has a drive, like determination, the loyalty to his fellow Americans, his fellow neighbors, it definitely speaks out a lot about who he is as his character.
That's good. Good thing. Very good thing. All right. Well, let's move on from North Carolina to Wisconsin. This is from Eric Daugherty on X. Just in, Eric Hove, GOP Senate candidate in Wisconsin, concedes Senate race to Tammy Baldwin. He is denied to ask for a recount. I'm pretty sure a recount wouldn't change the results. I mean, Wisconsin's just that's kind of like the last frontier when it comes to counting votes.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't. It really wouldn't make any difference whatsoever.
Yeah.
If you want to do a recount, you can do a recount. You're able to, but if it's not going to make a difference, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna. This video is 6 minutes long. I'm probably gonna listen to the whole thing, but let's go at least to the first couple of minutes to see what he has to say.
Yeah.
9 months ago, I entered the race for the U.S. Senate because I love our country and I'm deeply concerned about its direction. The 4 principal issues that propelled me to run were my concerns about the U.S. government's debt crisis and excessive spending, which have put our country's financial security at risk and sparked the worst inflation in 40 years. I'm also troubled by our domestic security, impacted by the defund the police movement and the lack of control at our southern border. International security was another concern, as the policies of the Biden administration have led to conflicts breaking out worldwide.
Okay, let's stop there. So, defunding the police, not getting enough protections at the border. I almost feel like this administration knew that they were coming, like whatever their ideas were coming to an end. And so they tried to create as much chaos as possible. And, fast forward.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I think the same. Like, I wouldn't think the same idea, because, there's always like a long game to everything. But like
there
at
is.
the very end, like what benefit could it be to cause more like chaos? Like, where does that benefit? It's done them no good. Like, you can see like there's a whole wave.
Well, the main thing is that they can't use America to their advantage anymore. So they want to make sure that nobody else can do it. And they want to be able to have, hoard and create all these resources for themselves and, export them wherever they need to export them in a way in which no one else will be able to help America.
It's like a rich kid. It's like a rich kid who's done with his toy, or like one of those spouses that'll deplete and use everything up before abandons you.
Yeah, it's like a kid that gets a brand new tablet and then throws it on the ground and stomps on it and cracks a screen.
I don't want you to use it. If I can't have it,
nobody can. And on top of that, if you look at all the illegals that have come into the country, and then all the the weaponization of government, too much has happened in such a short period of time, in which they know that now we know what you're doing, now we see what you're doing, and there's no way for you to defend that.
No, they're not even hiding it anymore. Like before, like they had to where they had a legacy news, they had stuff, but like at a certain point, people are going to just see it and just, hey, the curtain. We can see the man behind the curtain at this point.
Yeah. Well, I hope Bob Casey is paying attention, because this is the difference in integrity, between this guy and that guy. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm just kidding, guys. That was this is McCormick here. McCormick won in Pennsylvania, and there's no mathematical way for him to win. There just isn't.
Yeah, wasn't correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the judge overseeing it or something like this, someone up in Pennsylvania being prosecuted now for I don't want to say ballot harvesting.
We got Brian jumping up to help us out.
Yeah, correct me. Fill me in on this, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
so I believe that the election official that has been arrested for accepting not kosher votes was actually in Minnesota, a Democrat. We covered that yesterday, I think.
We did.
What's going on in Pennsylvania is it's not mathematically possible for Bob Casey to win. Really, the only reason he is not conceding is basically the same reason that Hove, opposite reason. Hove went ahead and conceded in Wisconsin. It's the longest video, but if you watch Hove's whole video, he says, "Listen, all a recount is going to do is just going to they're going to recount the same discredited ballots, and they're only going to increase their lead because they're going to double up their counting." And that's what Casey is counting on in Pennsylvania and hoping he can run out the clock. Even though the Pennsylvania Supreme Court has consistently swatted down these Berks County election officials saying, well, we're going to count the votes anyway. So Pennsylvania's done. The only person that does not recognize that Pennsylvania is done is Bob Casey. And I will yield the floor and give your show back from him.
Thank you, Brian. He's our rules analysis. I'm I'm the announcer. Tay, you're play-by-play. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm this guy. He's that guy. He's the guy. He's the dude. The duders. Sir Dudeser.
Yeah, I know.
Well, thank you for clearing that up. Yeah.
No. But go ahead.
Yeah, because what was it? What was in state? It was DeSantis. What was the guy that he ran against on that recount? DeSantis won on it.
What was it? DeSantis? Are you sure it was DeSantis?
Yeah, that's how DeSantis got in when he was running for Oh man,
jeez.
I wish I had better memory. But the guy he was running against had this crazy. I'm not gonna bring up the story, but it's some crazy story that just happened, right before the election, and it was a C hair within margin, very similar to this. So then they did the recount because he called for it because he saw some integrity at least on it, and that's how DeSantis ended up taking the state.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think I was down there for that. I just don't remember.
Might have been. It's been a long time since that happened.
Yeah, it's been a while. And I didn't start getting into all this stuff until probably COVID. COVID is what kind of changed, where I was kind of wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing over there? Wait, what's going on over there? What? It was that what moment, oh my God.
Inconsistencies and things that couldn't be covered.
Exactly. No, I always explain it in a way like a sandbox game, something like Skyrim or something, where you only know so much. You got the whole map, and then every part of the map you go to lights up just a little bit. Well, what COVID did is it just said the whole map is open, and you were able to see everything. And I was like, how could I have been so dumb all these years?
It's funny how that works, And I think that was a game changer for everybody. Not everyone, some people still have their heads in the sand. No pun intended to your reference earlier. there's a lot of people like that, but you're definitely seeing a lot more people be more aware of what's going on, how it's going on, kind of going into why this cabinet Trump chose.
Exactly. Right. And, it's so funny that you're talking about cabinet members because, boom, let's talk about Trump's cabinet, shall we? So, these are, we talked about last week some of the members that he just set up, and we're going to go over some of the new ones. Obviously, we'll go through this one first. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he's going in for Health and Human Services. This is probably, everybody says that Matt Gaetz for AG was probably the most important. No, I think this one here is the most important. Because,
honestly, I think it is as well.
Yes, because he already knows where all the bodies are hidden. And he's just going to go in and just start documenting and taking notes in the first month. And after that, he's going to hit the red nuclear button.
He's a smart man. Like, he's a very smart guy. He's been health has been a huge thing for him for years and years, even when he was younger. And the fact that even if he was running against Trump, he got onto this to do this. Like, it's kind of like coming into like the ultimate of what his life work has been.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And he's literally stood by that since the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah. That was like 30, 40 years ago, depending how far
older
back
than us.
That's older than me. I was born in 89.
Yeah, you're 89, I'm 84. So it's like, my goodness. Then we got the Department of Transportation, Sean Duffy. It says Duffy has held several titles, most recently, which is Fox News contributor. He served in Congress as a representative for Wisconsin in 2011 to 2019 and declined to run for governor in 2022, even though Trump asked him to do so. He also had a turn on MTV's Real World Boston. Oh, that's where I know this guy from. Holy moly.
Wow. That would have not opened up a memory unless you had read that.
Jeez, that's why his face looks so familiar. I mean, I used to watch those way back in the day.
Yeah, no, I was a kid when that was out. I wasn't allowed to watch MTV, so kind of had to sneak it in.
That's funny. He served as district attorney and was ESPN color commentator. Yeah, that's also where okay, so I know this guy now. Duffy's been critical of Trump in the past on Fox News in 2017 that a debt ceiling deal Trump stuck with Democrats was bad and foolish. Huh. What do you think about that now, Mr. Sean Duffy? Let's see. We got Doug Collins for the VA. He's a staunch Trump supporter and frequent Fox News guest, served in Congress, representing a Georgia district from 2013 to 2021. And was among the 8 House Republicans who served on the defense team during Trump's first Senate impeachment trial. Collins is an Air Force Reserve chaplain and served in Iraq. Then we have got, let's see, who else we got here? Oh, that's right, the newest one. Commerce, Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick. I saw this and I was like, dude, nobody's paying taxes again.
Now, what do you think about that though? Like, as far as like the taxes and like the long run and stuff, because if you're going into tariffs, the taxes, our capitalist society, this and that, but people could just stop shipping to us.
Well, not even that. Well, they can't do that because we have all the money. So, like, you can try and ship all across the world, but there's a difference between shipping your stuff to the United States and shipping it to, Zimbabwe. Like, what's the market in Zimbabwe, versus here? So, but on top of that, when you look at, like, when you look at what he's trying to do is he's trying to do what we did before 1913 in the start of Federal Reserve, right? Yeah. So, before then, how we got our tax money was through was through tariffs. And then something happened in 1913 that people went stupid, or people in the government decided that, taxing their own citizens after everything was great, which probably led to partially the Great Depression. I don't know. Maybe the 19th Amendment had something to do with it as well. Just kidding. But
My dog.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not, but I am. No. But yeah, but I'm pretty sure that had a lot to do with it. And could you imagine within 2 years bringing that back? And no tax on overtime, no tax on tips. Yeah,
See,
we'll have like.
I think that's great. I think that's great because there's a lot of people who are lazy, but there's a lot of people at the same time who might not have the money, or just people who want to make the more money. So working that overtime is gonna be great just to free up a lot of stuff for most people. But I would definitely, I had a thought about this when I was driving the other day, and yeah, no, I wonder how that would work though, like for this, because like like you were talking about the 1913, a lot of things back then as far as like sales and purchases were tangible. Now there's a lot of just services, intangible services, if you would. A lot of bills are for things that you're not getting that you can touch, like whether it be streaming services, internet. That's billions, if not trillions of dollars. I couldn't tell you what that would be, but I wonder how big of an effect going back to that would be in anything, like on the back end of like the macroeconomics.
Kind of like back in Egypt, way back in the day. Where you had, they had servants, they had slaves, and even they were rich.
Oh yeah,
everybody
was like, the Jews were the slaves, the Hebrews were the slaves. I mean, like they were just in a forced union, more or less, from my understanding.
Hey, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. Is that how unions are supposed to work? What are you making over there, Tay? What are you making?
Nothing. Some healthy orange juice.
He's like water.
Yeah, just water.
Exactly. But yeah, so Trump taps former Congressman Sean Duffy to take over, Booty Guy's job at the DOT. Taps, and then you got the taps financier and longtime Trump ally, Ludnick for Commerce. But he'll be in a good place to embargo foreign arms sales in places like Ukraine.
Ooh. Ooh. No, I think it'll be good. Like, I don't want to get too much into it. Like, I got to move on. But I think here in Orlando, it's a hospitality capital. It's the #1 destined place for vacation in the world. So, living in the middle of it, I think it's going to be great for like our economy, because it's a struggle bus out here if you're not within it.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, I mean, down there where you are is like it's like the Vegas of the East.
Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of friends that run casinos and like clubs out in Vegas, and like it's just less deserty.
Yeah, there you go.
Less deserty, less casinos.
All right. So speaking of Ukraine, this is from the Daily Mail. Ukraine fires first U.S.-made missiles into Russia. World War III fears as Kremlin threatens nuclear response if long-range Western weapons are used on its territory. Well, Putin already said that. He said that like a year ago, or maybe like 2 years ago. That was his red line.
Yeah, I don't think, hopefully I'm right on this one for like everyone's sake, but I don't think he's going to do anything, honestly. I know he doesn't have a quarrel with Trump or the administration. I think most of the world leaders like what Trump is, what he does. They don't like what this current regime, if you would, has done, in that very old school mentality of like just them and not the constituents and everyone else. Now, obviously, Russia has like a dead hand, like if anything were to happen, like a nuclear war. But this close to it and being able to get back to like normalcy, like through globally, I don't think anything would happen. I just think it's kind of silly, the fact that let's shoot 6 missiles to it after that's how the war was provoked to start with.
It was.
You poke the bear.
And I'm sorry, but Monica said, "Did I miss you guys talking about Department of Education? Oh my goodness. How did I not pull that up? I need to pull this up just for a second, because take a wild guess as who you think he nominated for Department of Education."
As a wise ass, I want to say the president, the new South American president, but no, I have no idea. Oh shit!
Yeah, right.
Linda McMahon.
Linda McMahon, dude.
What? Like a bar guy.
Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness! Like, could you imagine?
I mean,
dude, people getting body slammed over there.
I didn't even know she was like into anything like close to this. I know he's closer with the McMahon family, but this was not on my bingo card.
Yeah, well, I mean, the McMahons and the Trumps have always been. I mean, you've seen all the pay-per-views and stuff. They've always been like.
Oh yeah, they're friends. Yeah, no, for sure. I would have not assumed this at all. I just wonder though, like, I know her and her husband are close, like, the youth, and compared to the age and like, closer ear to the ground, what's going on. But I wonder at her age, like, things that what she likes, what she thinks goes on, like, will go smoothly or work well with what, like, Trump's like agenda or like the new party, if you would, like, you get what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah. And even Brian was like, what was ATF Stone?
Oh, we're going through everybody now.
Vince shut down WCW. And Shane bought it up. Yeah, that's right. Oh my God. You guys are hilarious. All right. As
long as Cash gets picked, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Cash get picked. And also in second place, if Cash doesn't get picked, I want Mike Davis.
Yeah. No, I couldn't.
I want Mike Davis. Mike Davis would have Washington cleared out in like 48 hours.
They a lot of the people started already, like after the cabinet, like nominees have like been picked and appointed or whatever. There's a lot of people like starting to resign now, knowing, especially in the education department, knowing what's about to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be a purge. There's going to be a purge right now, and they're not going to stop for 4 years.
Yeah, I think that's why they waited for the second term to do this.
Exactly. Could you imagine if, like, he just went, if Trump won the second term and just went straight through? Like, we wouldn't have known any of this stuff, And I'm not saying that, like,
it wouldn't have been as monumental, like as big of a deal.
Exactly.
It's a really good contrast to have to go from here to here, and then him running
to there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, I completely agree. But let's get back to where we were.
All right, let's get back.
This is from Muse on X. Russia announced Ukraine attacked it using U.S.-made nuclear-capable tactical missiles after the U.S. confirmed the report. Russia signaled it's ready to launch a tactical nuclear response, according to CNBC. Pray for peace. My God, what are these guys doing? Like Biden, what are you doing?
He's not even in it. He's not even in anymore.
He's not. I mean, he I guess approved, but approved by who? Who's his handler?
Yeah.
That's who we need to figure out. Whoever his handler is the guy. He's public enemy number one across the entire planet.
Yeah, you gotta
that guy.
Him, whoever that guy is, deep dive. But you gotta realize, like they said, capable, nuclear capable. Like, all these missiles now are, for the most part, your favorite guy. Are capable. I think it was just more again poking the bear.
No, it is. It unlocks Putin's red line on nukes. Number one. And number two, the UN is actually the real culprit here.
They're just It's almost like they're playing like a proxy on this.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Like
you're
they
you're
are
not
the
with us.
proxy, which is so ridiculous. They know you're there. They know exactly where you are at all times.
I think it's just another stunt just to get more attention so that they can get more money. You know, you'll have Rocket Man throw like nuclear capable rockets over different countries that they're feuding with, and they'll be empty and they'll just like die over and land in the sea some places, and it could just be something like that.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, either that or the UN is trying to provoke Putin to make a move. It's
Before
like make
Trump's-
a move. Yep, it's like make a move so that we can call you the bad guy, and then we can send the whole arsenal over there.
Yep, because if that war starts, then Trump won't have time in office without a war that he'll be having to worry about.
Well,
that is a war, but you get what I'm saying, like an escalation, if you would, because that'd be something.
Yeah, but I also think that like again, you were right. I don't think Putin is that stupid. Like
he's a smart guy.
Yeah, I think he would wait until Trump got into office. He would hide in a silo somewhere, but he would wait for Trump to get into office to be like, okay, dude, I'm going to give you one shot to stop this madness.
No, he even said he's willing to do it. The guy might not be a friend of the state, more or less, but it doesn't take away that he's a smart guy. He knows what's up, you know.
Yeah, because we talked about France. Yeah, we talked about France and the UK on yesterday's show. You know, finally bringing their weapons up to the border, and you know, in this provocateur position. So speaking of the UK. Farmers have hoarded land for too long. Inheritance tax will bring new life to rural Britain. Stalin has entered the chat.
Jesus Christ. It's like they're trying. There's so many different comparisons to this. It doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. It's not even like they have a lot of land out there, you know, like comparative to like the States. And like these farmers, they don't get a break.
No, they don't.
They don't get a fucking break. What was it like?
They'll have a 5-day
work
week over there. Like, what's going on?
No, not even that. I mean, like their government, like in the UK, just keeps trying to like pound them up to the hiney.
Oh, I know. But you know what's funny is that we'll talk about one of the farmers that you probably know, and you're probably going to be like, "Wait, what?" Is this dude
my
Jeremy
boy
Clarkson? Yes. Become the most important political orator in Britain. That's like what?
I mean, it's true. He's one of the most famous people on the planet.
Exactly.
He might be goofy, but he's not done either. And he has the power to speak and have a voice for farmers are the small people. Play it.
Yeah,
what is this?
They really are. Yeah, let's hear what he had to say, because this looks really interesting.
As we all know, everyone down there, a tractor, £200,000 for a medium-sized one, a combine, £500,000. All the equipment costs a fortune, and if you try to price what you're selling to accommodate that, there's just a lot of moaning. You get people saying, "Well, I shouldn't pay that. I can get a chicken from abroad." Yeah, you can. It's so full of chlorine, it tastes like a swimming pool with a beak. And then you've got the environmentalists endlessly shouting at you, "Oh, your cows, they're altering the composition of the gases in the upper atmosphere, and your fertilizers ruining the trouty freshness of our streams and rivers." And I know sometimes you just think, what's the point? We're just trying to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's just this endless whinging, and there's no money in it. And the regulations. Some of you down there will know what I'm on about when I say we got a lot of GS4 this year on the farm. And we were told, "Oh, the sheep will love that." No, they don't. They're standing looking at it in the same way that a 5-year-old looks at an olive. They don't want to eat it. And so we have all of this complication and all of this cost. And there's very, very little money in it. Very little money, as you know.
Absolutely. And it's the same thing over here where like our farms have been outsourced.
Oh
They've
yeah, no,
they've been
and
completely outsourced. Go ahead.
they've been outsourced. They've already started like that not to go down that hall either, but
Rabbit hole.
yeah. But
There we
you know,
go.
they've already started putting like the bugs in like processed foods and stuff, like meats and stuff. So that's already a thing. Bill Gates owns all the food, and I've been watching Top Gear since I was a child, and so anything. So I've watched it, and I didn't realize the margin, like to actually make money as a farmer it's non-existent. Like they put so much work into it. There's so much stuff into it. You know, here in Florida, you know, it might rain every day for a little bit, but it's not as intense as what that is, to where it can literally set you back entirely to make no money. Have you ever seen the show and like how much money he could make and how much he has to invest? These guys don't have money, the farmers. This guy is a millionaire and he struggles forking in the money because he can afford stuff.
Exactly. And that's what it all comes down to. It's almost like marijuana. You know, when they legalized marijuana and you have these pot shops, you know, in the state of Florida, I think you have to have $50 million of liquid assets in order to run a marijuana farm.
It's something like that, but you'll have to have a lot of sponsors as well, which usually have to be lawyers, doctors, generals, famous people. But no, when I was reading that article earlier, they get taxed every generation. It's a 20% generation, so it's like $2 to $3 million of the tax that comes out every generation. That's $600,000 that you have to pay, which would be put into why people have generational like businesses, for generational wealth to sustain. You know, it's not just something, you're not just, oh, I'm going to go become a farmer. You're born into it for the most part. You know, Jeremy Clarkson, he said that, but wanted to go be a farmer, but he's a millionaire already.
Round of applause for Tay here. This guy knows his shit. He definitely knows his shit. We got a lot of talent over here. Just letting you guys know. So if anybody's out there, you know, looking for on-screen personalities, you can pay me.
Not internet pimp.
Internet pimp. Yes, and make sure you follow him. That is his X down below. So expect an influx of followers here in about 3, 2, 1. But yeah. So also Fat Electrician had a say on this. So he said, as a guy who reads his history book, this is a horrible idea that has been tried repeatedly and always ends in mass starvation. Looks like communism, sounds like communism. When you take farmland away from the farmers, aka the motherfuckers who know how to grow food, and give said farmland to people who don't know how to grow food, you know what you get? Not food.
It's wild. These people, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you go to like economists, or I can't say that word, like they don't know shit about it. Like they just they repeat what someone else has said, and they're always wrong about mostly everything. And they're like, oh, well, they said it. 99 economists said this, so it has to be right. It's always wrong. And the same thing goes for this farming. I'm not saying like the farmers getting like pounded up their hiney. Like they're getting taxed for like emissions from cows. Cows don't fart, as far as I'm concerned. Like they don't fart. That's why you have to like, sometimes you have to like stab them in their side to release.
Pigs too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I remember watching the video. A pig was on its side and it couldn't move. It was like, help me. And this guy took a nail and a hammer, just went. Pip. It was crazy. I'd never seen anything like that.
Holodomor. You want to look that up?
Oh, you're gonna look it up?
I don't know what it is.
Who said it? Who said it? Is it in the chat? That's hilarious. Holdemore. Got it. Well, while you're looking that up, we're going to move on to our last story, which is from Charlie Kirk. Breaking: Judge Juan Merchant adjourns New York City case against Trump with delivering sentence in hush money case.
That just means they're just you saving it for ammo for later.
They're going like this. You're good, Trump, for now.
That's it.
That's literally all it is. I don't know what else.
Wait till he's doing good, and they're just gonna save it for later.
I mean, this guy. Merchant's looking like he's about to burst out of the closet, but he. Why?
I'm telling you,
the case is not over, not a final ruling. They do want to keep it over his head the entire term, like the entire term.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. I don't know if you've ever seen the news every now and then, but that's all they do. That's all they do, man.
If you watch the news, like 6 months ago, a year ago,
past since 2016, past 8 years, they just hold stuff and they'll keep it in their back pocket, and just like everyone's like he says, like it's almost like a joke. And the sarcasm now, it's like a witch hunt, right? And that's all it is. And they're keeping it till when he does something good.
Russian collusion.
Or when he
January 6th.
Yeah. When they have something to where he can do something that's going to affect them, they're going to use that.
You said drink bleach.
Oh my God.
I mean, in the literal sense, he said it, but like, really?
Yeah.
Like, even I was like, oh, haha, very funny, moving on.
Hyperbole, man.
It's so stupid. Because this is from Elizabeth's favorite website, the New York Post. Bragg tries to control President Trump by delaying case. Throw it out. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg speaks to the media Thursday. This was May 30th? Yeah. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg pushed Tuesday to create a new constitutional creature, the layaway president. Layaway president. These guys are funny. It was once common for stores to hold expensive items that you really wanted but could not make the payment, so they were tagged and kept on the shelf until you were ready to redeem your item. For Bragg, that leaves Donald Trump tagged until 2029. In a filing before Manhattan Justice Juan Merchant, Bragg suggested that the court should stay the pending criminal case and defer his sentencing until after the end of the defendant's upcoming presidential term.
See, I see this biting them in the ass.
Oh, yes.
And I can tell you why. Like as a New Yorker, I go back often. People, even in the city, like it's not what, it's still a very liberal city, which is fine, It's a very diverse city. But, if the whole country just said, hey, we're done with this shit, we want him back. And everyone's now seeing that they're keeping this as like a back pocket ploy to like try to like run amok on him, like be like a thorn in his side. I think that's when this happens. Those jurors obviously know, like for decisions, like if it goes back into that part of a case or whatever. But now their bias can change a lot for what they think, what they know, and what they're being showed. Because there's a lot of stuff that he had rights to do in like the court of law that he got denied. Not even so much as like the gag, but actual like here's evidence to disprove it. And the judge was like, nah. I only want the bad evidence.
Well, he was going to bring in his tax attorney, and they denied him his tax attorney. That's an attorney.
They've been crying for that.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, if I was on trial for the IRS and I brought in my tax attorney and they said, sorry, you can't bring in your tax attorney, I'd go to jail. Like, I would give them a reason to send me to jail. Like,
no, it makes no sense. And was it the judge's daughter that made a shit ton of money off of this?
Yes, she did.
Like millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars, like close to like $100 million.
Wow.
Like
isn't it like
don't quote me on that, but I know it was a lot of money. during that short period of time.
I know it was a lot of money, but isn't it like there has to be something that says like if you're like in the court of like if you're like overseeing a case as a judge, like you have to have a non-bias,
Yes.
and then like the wife or something let some like put something on X before it was released that showed bias in disfavor of him, his daughter making money off of this. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think Trump is going to expect and demand an outright dismissal, not just in that case, but also the case in Georgia.
Oh yeah, no, that's already unraveling quick. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it started unraveling during Fanny's trial. That was absolutely hilarious. I watched the entire thing throughout the entire week. Brian, you want to jump up here and talk about that a little bit, real quick?
Oh yeah. The Georgia case is completely falling apart because evidence has come out that I forget the guy's name, but Fanny's boy toy. He was in Washington. He's on White House logs. There's proof that he colluded with Biden's Justice Department. Okay, so he's out of the picture now. And now the Georgia State Supreme Court, I mean, they're getting ready to toss her off the case. And bottom line up front here, for standing in that case, a prosecutor in Georgia has to bring it. She's the only prosecutor in the state of fucking Georgia, I'm sorry for using profanity, that will bring that case. There's no other, and keep in mind, she is the Fulton County prosecutor, a county prosecutor. I lived in Georgia a long time. I guarantee you, there is no county prosecutor in any other county in Georgia other than Fulton County that would even try to bring this kind of fucking case. Nope. She's a Soros DA. She was elected in a liberal, kind of same as Alvin Bragg in New York on those state charges. They ran on, we're going to get Trump. That was their whole campaign platform. In like the most liberal jurisdictions, you can elect a county prosecutor. This was, and I'm sorry, this is Sunset Rants, not Brian's Rants. I'm ranting. I'm sorry. But
we need to put a red line across to put Brian.
I mean, it's kind of hilarious to watch it all fall apart. And in New York, you can see the ploy. You can see the ploy unfold. Okay, we're just going to try to ride this out. But, I mean, finally, Trump has a decent legal team around him. And like, no. I see some constitutional issues, some speedy trial issues coming here. Like, listen, if you're not going to close this case out, throw it. Either sentence him, either pass sentence, which you can't because you have no legal basis to pass sentence against him, or really the only legal remedy here is dismissal. And the judge knows that, and he doesn't want to do it. I don't know, pride, whatever. I don't care. But that is the ultimate result of this bullshit case. It's been bullshit from the fucking beginning. That's what's going to happen. It's like Thanos. It's fucking inevitable. Rant over, and I will leave the stage. And I spent way more time on camera than I like spending live on the internet.
My guy. It should be. He's right, though. He's right.
Absolutely right. He's been waiting to get that out. Like,
and you know what? You know what, though? I'm not saying that's going to happen. Not that it's going to happen, but say for some reason it does go through, like not in his favor. They will run through that, and that will be what they run through for the rest of everything. A nothing burger.
Absolutely. And even if they did, and even if they decided that, 2029 or 2030, when Trump is 86 years old, and then they're like, oh yeah, you're guilty. you get the death penalty. Yeah, right. Try doing that with all the Secret Service agents around him. Like, that's not happening. It's not.
I mean, hopefully it's not the ones from they're there for a shooting, but
Yeah, right. Tell me about
they'll
it.
just be like looking at the sky like turkeys in the plane.
What happened? Right. Anyways, so that's the end of our show tonight. Do you have any final thoughts on any of the stories that we've done today?
I mean, for the most part, I kind of said like what I was thinking. You know, yeah. Like if the viewers that came in late, were speaking about the Carolinas, how vet set up like his own FEMA, if you would, to save the people. I would probably say, I think the farmer thing is probably like the one that kind of sticks out to me the most.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like the taxes and stuff, because like you were saying, as far as like the Marxists going out, no problem, buddy. Hey, bud, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't relent. Like the UK doesn't have. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, Glenn Jacobs. That's right.
I always wanted to meet him.
So do I. I might actually bring him on my show at some point. See what happens.
Really? That'd be cool.
We will see what happens. Just keep that in the back of your mind, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. What about you, man? Anything that kind of stuck out to you?
Well, I usually do a recap of all the articles that we did today.
Good way, brother.
So, first, real-life superheroes enter North Carolina. Thank the Lord. Eric Hove concedes before California does. The new degenerates have entered Trump's cabinet. Ukraine is playing nuclear patty cake with Russia. The UK has a new movie called Stalin 2, Gordon Ramsay's Revenge, and Alvin Bragg is bragging about getting his fanny spanked at the Supreme Court. You see what I did there?
That was good. that was slick. I'll give it to you.
That's right. All right. Well, Taylor, it's been a pleasure being with you.
It's always a
Hopefully,
pleasure,
we will see your face on here a lot more often. Maybe.
I definitely will. I guarantee you that. Definitely will.
Absolutely. Yeah. I gotta send you a setup.
I know. I was literally looking at it and I'm like, I got 3 doors. I need to get a backdrop.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But anyways, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord and check out our website, where any monetary contribution would be greatly appreciated. I have to bring it up because my producer says I have to, or he's going to kick my ass. So, riseofmiddleamerica.com. There it is, right here at the top. That's where you have all the links to the Rumble, YouTube, X, Discord, all right there to join at your convenience. You know, the latest news, rants, and deep dives. Here's our beautiful faces. Hopefully soon I can get Tay's face up here with our crew. There's Treebeard and Brian. Brian always being Brian. I love that photo. That's my favorite photo out of all of them. But anyways, that's our show. We will see you tomorrow. Uh-oh. Am I breaking some news right now? That's right. For a special edition of Sunset Rants Texas edition. All right? We'll be joined by some of the best ex-creators in the state of Texas. That's right. Gunther and Hunter Eagleman, the Texas one, and Joseph Trimmer will be on to talk everything Texas. You don't want to miss this show. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I see you, Tay. Your eyebrows just went up into the air.
I was thinking about something.
That's right. But anyways, we will definitely see you guys tomorrow. It's going to be promoted all over X. So be ready, be prepared. Let's go. Thank you for seeing us, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace.